can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. When you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity.
Hello. Hi there. Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Hardwood, the fundamental episode of the Hardwood. I am Daniel Dick Warner. We will be talking the NBA. We will be talking a lot of nonsense, a lot of ecstasy and madness. I'm going to bring in first the guy who will be with me on the show for the most part every week when we get it going, and they've been showing me how to do this in the background. There's a lot of puppetry and things going on in the background, a lot of Wizard of Oz type shit. So I'm gonna add this is Stacks Wade Knoll, everybody.
What's going on, Dan?
How are you doing, sir?
Oz over there. I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Didn't that seem like it was kind of like a behind the scenes look into a terrible day?
Hey,
terrible.
hey, 100%. But it's all about growth and learning. So here we are.
God, I get why this next guy wants to kill himself so much sometimes. I really do. This is the guy who's going to producing and my best friend. I will say that. Just one of those. Yep. 7. There you go. See, I don't childishly leave you in the background so you can see. Now I see beyond the curtain when I'm in the back. And like I only have the screen that Wade has, and I'm back there. I'm like, oh, you guys can fucking see me. Well, you can see what I'm doing down there, and it is fantastic. It's actually hilarious.
Oh, absolutely.
In the back. Yes. So the Hardwood guys, this is an NBA show. This is going to be me and Stacks show. More dick, more stacks. That's the motto. That's our mantra. So I just got to get this out of the way so that everybody can establish it. And I actually don't know the answer to this question. I think I do kind of know the answer to this question, but I have to ask Stacks. Stacks, who is the GOAT of the NBA in your opinion?
Hey, in my opinion, it's LeBron because we're here, guys.
Oh
We're here.
goodness!
So,
look at the jersey and everything.
You already know what it is. It's LeBron. This is one of the things that brought us together, Dan, was our love for LeBron. So here we are. Of course, how can I not say LeBron? So
you're here at 3-0-3.
The bromance actually connects other bromances. and later, guys, we're gonna have a little segment called Time Machine, in which we're gonna get to go back into certain times and imagine that we had this show and this platform to talk about those times. And I think 2016 might be a stop. It might be a stop on that train. June 28th, 2016 might be a stop on that train.
100%.
It might. It just could be. I don't know. Stacks, what do you think?
Choo-choo, we're coming.
Without choo-choo, 2016 train is coming. To down 3-1 to the greatest team in NBA history is coming. The one that had to add Kevin Durant to just then slaughter us for the next 2 years. But not, I digress. Stacks, what do you, without going too deeply into it, what separates LeBron from Michael as far as why would you call him the GOAT? Just real quick.
On the surface, I would just say he's done a lot more with nothing than in retrospect. I mean, let's look back to Cleveland a little bit. First year Cleveland, let's look back to that. Let's not forget Boogie and what was it? Snow. What's his name?
Eric Snow.
Eric Snow.
You got Daniel Gibson.
Booby Gibson, baby.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
Yeah, right. So take that back. So I would say he's done more with nothing. And, at the same time, look what those teams were when he left. Look at the Cavs when he left. They were a dumpster fire, right? Obviously, it helped him get Kyrie and things of that nature. But, he just makes others around him better. And not that Jordan didn't do that necessarily, but it's comparing apples and oranges at this point. But give me LeBron all day long.
It is. LeBron is a closer comparison to Wilt Chamberlain, is what I always say. Like just because or Magic and like a Magic Wilt Chamberlain mix, because we had never seen like that athleticism in this day and age, because obviously in 1964 when Wilt came in, I mean, I don't even know what his rookie year was. It was around that area. Like there was still dudes with day jobs, white dudes, 6'4" white guys playing center, who he was playing against. So obviously they hadn't seen a 7-foot, dude who's out there just killing everybody. But like in this day and age, LeBron was a new type of athlete, which is actually really the impressive thing about it. Is like obviously they're all freaks in the NBA now. So he actually was transcendent as an athlete, and that was what separated him from me. I always just say, and I'm going to end it on this because we can go about it all night. I always just say that if you're taking a player in their prime and no circumstances involved, you just get a raw player. You just get one. You have the first overall pick in the fantasy draft of all fantasy drafts. You have every NBA player in the history of the NBA at your disposal. Who do you take number one overall? As a basketball player, you take LeBron James.
James.
I don't think that that's even an argument.
There's no debate there.
I don't think there is. Take all of that shit out. Take all the circumstances of Chicago and Cleveland and what the fuck ever.
6-0, all that stuff. Yep.
Take all of it out.
Yep. Take it out.
Delete it. You are taking LeBron James over Michael Jordan as a player. You just are. That's it. That's why he's the GOAT.
Absolutely.
So, I will say, so Wilt Chamberlain, rookie year, 1959 to 1960 season, he shot a whopping 37.6 points per game, 27 rebounds per game, and 2.3 assists in 72 games his rookie season.
Tony, he went 50-20 a couple times.
Yeah.
50-20 average. If a dude has a 50-20 game in the NBA right now, everybody freaks out for like 2 weeks about it.
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker was out there doing it every day.
Every single day.
54 and 21.
There's so much to LeBron's game and in his basketball knowledge that's just unreal. Now, Jordan was a savage. I don't think anybody can deny that Jordan was a savage. That
Kobe before Kobe. I mean, let's be honest.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, the Mamba mentality as it existed when Kobe passed was partially because of Jordan, but taken even one step further. For me, Jordan had more to work with. I agree with what Stack said. Jordan had more to work with. LeBron did not. Cleveland was an absolute dumpster fire. He chose to stay there, and I will give him that because he could have left Cleveland before he did the first time. But he really tried. And then he went, he got rings elsewhere, came back to Cleveland, got a ring in Cleveland, you know, and moved on from there. As somebody, I've been a fan of the game since I was a kid. You know, when I was a kid, everybody loved Jordan. He was, you know, 90s Bulls' most popular thing since sliced bread at the time. But when I'm watching these guys play, I would rather, in his prime, I would rather watch LeBron over Jordan.
Everybody was a Jordan fan, dude. He made the game global. Like, I don't take anything away from Michael Jordan this entire time. And I'm not even going to sit here and say that LeBron has had less than Jordan, because he had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. He had one of the original super teams to win his first two titles. Okay. Mm-hmm. He had, I'm arguing for the opposite right now. He had the 2016 team had Kyrie and fucking Kevin Love. That's not that they ain't no slouches. The rest of the team was garbage, but and then he had Anthony Davis for the 2021 in the bubble, the weird kind of situation where like they were, but it's just about, to me, it's just about raw. Who is the better basketball player? And I don't care about this. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the titles. I don't care about any of it. Who is the better basketball player? Like, who are you going to take at the Y first? You are taking LeBron James, bro. It's LeBron James all day long. That's all I'm saying. That's why he's my GOAT. Like, I don't care about the accomplishments. LeBron, by the way, 1,423 points away from passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the all-time scoring record, and that's not even the thing that he does the best. Not the thing that he does the best. He's not. Scoring is not the best part of his game. That's the crazy part. But all the numbers aside and everything, I think he's just the better overall, just a basketball player. Just take a basketball player and just multidimensional. What can they do on the court? Can they do it all? Yes. That's LeBron. That's all I'm saying. That's all I've ever tried to say about it. And like, I don't, the 6-0 thing is obviously going to get thrown in your face constantly. It's the only argument that Jordan fans have now.
I was going to say that's the only argument, right?
Yeah. It's all.
It's like Yankees fans saying 27 rings. It's all they have anymore.
I mean, we got Aaron Judge going to San Francisco, so that's, get him up. God, if I have to watch him strike out in the playoffs again, I'm going to boo him. No, I'm just, but There's all those memes about how he's just gonna leave because they booed him after his season or whatever, and I'm like he's in the playoffs now. This is a new season. Like we're used to being in the playoffs. Like the Yankees just haphazardly make the playoffs more than any team in Major League history. Like we just like show up, or just like, yeah, I guess we got a wild card. I don't know. Like just for shit gigs. The Royals can't make it. Fucking, the Royals make it 2 years out of like 30, and we just like show up. We're like, oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Messina had 20 wins. I don't know, but yeah.
Another day at the office.
It is, and like that's where the season starts for Yankees fans. Like I was talking about it. Like I was like, I love the 63. I wish that he would get it, but I want a World Series more. Honestly, I don't care. I wish he would just fucking tie Maris. He can just tie Maris and not break his record, and we get a title, and I'm good with that. But like, I wanted the 62, but I wanted the title. Legitimately reasonable.
Yeah,
and he didn't do anything to help that.
He hits 349 in the second half of the year, and then 143 in the playoffs. Are you serious?
Right.
Like, yeah.
You ain't winning games with Harrison Bader as your best player. Master Harrison Bader was the best player. He hit 4 fucking homers. He hit 4 homers in the ALCS. Like, or not in the playoffs. Like, what in the fuck is going on? He bats 8th. Like, that's not a good thing. Like, Josh Donaldson forgot how to play baseball. He looks like me out there, just looking good. Got his wristbands strapped up. He's all salty out there arguing calls and just striking out every at bat. That was my game style. That was my game style. Stacks was just looking great. Got the double wristbands on. Go back, readjust them after like Nomar, right?
That's half the battle.
Strike out.
That's half the battle.
Just looking good. You can't play good unless you look good.
Absolutely. As the old adage goes.
As it is the old adage. Hey, Tone, do we have at some point an ad? We're gonna.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
I'm not saying that right now. I'm saying like just at some point. Okay. Good. We worked it out. We are going to go through, since we got the Stacks opinion, the correct opinion, out on air. We're gonna go ahead and go through the NBA power rankings. Beginning of the season, Golden State number 1, Milwaukee number 2. Not a huge surprise, right?
Nope.
All the way down the list. I think the Lakers at 17. Okay, not a huge under adjustment. Not a huge deal. I've said though that the Lakers season doesn't start until they trade Russ Westbrook. But Stacks, who is the best team in the NBA right now, in your opinion? Because how many is there? There's only 3, right? It would be between Golden State, Milwaukee.
Yep.
And
Phoenix.
Well, Phoenix.
Phoenix just wrecked Golden State.
Hey, I think with new season, Jazz, the Jazz may want to have a conversation with you, but then again, it's early, so
Utah, yeah.
Everybody calm down. Yeah. I would say the best team right now in the NBA, man, it's got to be Golden State. I mean, obviously last night, with Klay Thompson and things, if you saw that, he got ejected. Kind of ran his mouth. I think he's been hanging out with Draymond a little too much, obviously. But yeah, it's got to be Golden State, man. They're so deep. It's nuts how deep that team is.
Well, and just the weird part about Golden State is like that culture just lives through everything, because
absolutely
you got Steph Curry who he was just such the perfect piece for the new NBA. Like that's the player that you want now. You want just a sharp shooting, come off of a screen, shoot from 40 feet away, 3-point shooter, right? That's why Dame Lillard is so good right now. Like, you ever notice Dame Lillard when he first came into the NBA, not as dominant as he is now. It's because Dame Lillard can shoot 36-footers. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dame Lillard's a fucking sharpshooter, and he just figured out that like that's the way that this is going. Like, this is the way that everything's going right now, and we just need to adapt.
Look at what Booker did to Golden State last night. Booker he had, like, I was watching a breakdown of Booker's play today and from last night, and Booker was taking those threes in people's faces. You know, he showed the age of Klay Thompson last night. He hit some of those deeper shots. He hit some of those shots where instead of passing it, he actually just utilized his position, didn't worry about the weak-ass D they were showing, and just put it up in a floater and shot 32 points on Golden State last night and had Klay so flustered. He was out in the third quarter?
That's what I was going to say is, like, they don't have a premier defender anymore. Like, Klay Thompson and Draymond were, like, double. Like, those two guys in the 2016, 2017 years, those two guys were both locked down your number one. Like, they could switch off and literally they could have one guy resting and have their, a primary defender on most teams on the other team's best player. Now, Draymond, he's on his podcast 24/7 at this point. I think he's like, literally, he might be podcasting from the court at this point.
You're not wrong.
He's offensively non-existent. Like, the only thing that made him good was, like, he was kind of halfway athletic and he could play within that system, like, he could get up and down with those guys. Now that he can't get up and down with them, he just does, like, his style of play on that offense is no longer a thing. He can't run a break. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't run a 2-on-1 break. He can't do it anymore. And like Tony said, Klay Thompson had a knee. He had a knee. And when you have a knee and you play a bouncy sport such as this, you're gonna lose steps, and especially as a defender. Is Klay Thompson probably still pretty close to as good as an offensive player as he was before? Yeah,
100%.
He's probably pretty close. On defense, that's reactionary. He no longer has that reactionary pop, just like Draymond doesn't. So they lack a perimeter elite defender. James Wiseman is a good post defender. James Wiseman is a good post big kind of weird hybrid thing that they're doing now. That's the weirdest part.
He's coming, man. He's coming with those guards that they have. They're gonna get. I said it the other day in the chat. He's gonna get paid. I mean, obviously it helps that he's big too. I mean, let's be honest. But they're. I mean, and in my opinion, that it's gonna be like it's gonna be like Ayton. Like he's gonna. Those guards are gonna help him get paid, whether it be with Golden State or not. He's gonna get paid.
I think he's kind of like an Ayton, more to where they wanted Ayton to go as far as hybrid wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Ayton still, I still think of DeAndre Ayton as a big guy who's not, shooting fadeaways and stuff, but he's
100%.
I mean, they're trying to get him into that. But Wiseman, that's kind of his game, is like, he was like a small forward type player. And you said he's going to get paid. He's already gotten paid by Anthony Hardaway at Memphis, so might as well get paid in the NBA too.
Right. So let's just add to it. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. And it's going to be way more money. Like, because Anthony Hardaway can't afford 135 mil.
Boy, did they get a slap on the wrist though, man. NCAA, they don't care anymore at this point. They don't. Now that it's illegal, they don't care. I mean, I don't know if they did before that, but they definitely don't now. So
absolutely not.
They did. Ask Reggie Bush.
I was just about to say that same thing. I was about to Reggie Bush probably thinks differently.
Really? You want to say they don't care anymore? Reggie Bush would slap in the face.
I'm saying in the last 5 years. In the last, in the last 5, I mean, obviously 06 a little bit different. But
the fucked up part about that Reggie Bush stuff is that, he got his actual physical trophies taken away. But guys, I'll ask you a trivia question real quick. Who won the Heisman in 2006?
Reggie Bush.
Reggie fucking Bush.
Bush did.
So in the actual court of public opinion, the only place that really matters, unless Reggie really wants that trophy, which I love, he's on Wendy's commercials now, and they make jokes about how he wants how he wants the trophy back. And it's fantastic. Like, he's just making fun of himself because he knows that he's the Heisman Trophy winner from 2006. It doesn't change because he got paid. It's not like he was on horse tranquilizers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he had 2 extra legs. They were like, like, running back gets suspended for having 4 legs. It's like, no, he didn't have fucking 4 legs. He got a Cadillac. I think his mom got a Cadillac. It wasn't even him.
It was a Cadillac.
It was obviously him.
It was a house. Yeah, I was gonna say. It was definitely a house in there too.
In his mother's name. In his mother's name. So technically, he didn't even get him.
Yeah, I mean, however you got to do it, it is what it is. Give that man anything he wants at that point.
And it's why they had to do the NIL stuff, because it was going. First of all, it was going on anyway. Like, you can't tell me that Nick Saban doesn't keep that talented of a roster and not pay a single player. Like, go fuck yourself, really.
That or Clemson? Come on now.
Clemson?
How do you think Tom Osborne was getting guys to come from Florida to Lincoln, Nebraska for 4 years? What do you think he was doing? Like, well, I'm just Tom Osborne. I'm gonna be a senator one day. And they were like,
in Nebraska, he's a god, yes, but he might be the devil. He might be the devil.
He is the Antichrist. He's gonna live forever too. Osborne's been up there.
It's gonna be a national holiday. His death is gonna be a state holiday, and people are gonna have the day off.
It will be Queen Elizabeth-esque in Nebraska.
Absolutely.
We will shut the convenience stores down.
It's like the Pope. If the Pope died, The
Walmarts will be shut the fuck down. An hour
the trailer parks will be in mourning.
The trailer parks will have vigils. They will light an entire trailer on fire and let that thing burn with tires in it for as long, just continuously, like Al Davis.
They'll turn the meth black in honor, because it's morning meth.
They'll burn the meth trailer, but take the meth out first.
Right. I mean, clearly.
I mean,
we don't waste
time. We are honoring somebody, but we're not trying to waste money. You know what I'm saying? It just seems ridiculous because Tom doesn't care anymore. Tom doesn't care if we waste the meth or not. We can still do the meth, and Tom will be fine with it. But fucking Tom. He seems like he gets younger every time I see him.
Absolutely.
That's why I support your theory that he's a vampire. He's immortal. Like, it's him. And there was another. Now I can't remember who the other person. Oh, Paul Rudd. Him and Paul Rudd. They are vampires.
Rudd gets younger. They make jokes about in Rudd movies about how what is it, Knocked Up. She's like I just keep getting uglier and he just keeps getting better looking. And like they make jokes about how Paul Rudd's like he just continues. He's like 55. But yeah, Tom. So Tom, I shook Tom Osborne's hand one time, and it was in the middle of a crowd in like 2007, and he was walking across the bridge. Stacks knows what I'm talking about. There's like a bridge from the parking lot to Memorial Stadium, and him and Johnny Rogers, I fucking kid you not, were walking with Hall of Fame jackets the opposite way, and just to see if people trying to go in the stadium, and they're out there because they're trying to get somewhere else. And these two idiots are walking the opposite way, and they're Tom Osborne and Johnny Rogers. Johnny Rogers, a Heisman Trophy winner in Nebraska in the 70s. Right. One of the most nobody is recognizing these two dudes. They have Hall of Fame jackets on. Like they're wearing their and I was like, I literally broke my way out of the crowd. I was like, hey, that's Tom Osborne, bro. And they were like, no, it's not. And I was like, and I went over and shook Johnny Rogers' hand, and it was totally them. He looked exactly the fucking same as he does now. That was 2007. His hands were very paper mache. Very paper mache. It felt like I was shaking hands with one of those science class skeletons, with some rubber mat on it. But yeah, he looked exactly the same. Now it's just craziness. Anyway, I digress. Yes, we're on the power rankings. I think Stacks pretty much agree. I think the best team in the NBA right now is probably Golden State, but I'm gonna go with Milwaukee because of Giannis. People are high on Giannis, obviously. Obviously, people know how good Giannis Antetokounmpo is, right? But I am on a whole different. I think this guy at this point, raw skill wise, he was already up. Raw talent, like athleticism and stuff, that was already Have you seen his freaking hands, by the way? He has the biggest hands in the history of the NBA Combine. You should look at some pictures of him with just people's hands on his. None of them go outside of his palm. Not a joke. They don't everybody can fit their hand inside of his palm.
His wife doesn't complain, so
his wife is not complaining about it at all. Mrs. Giannis, Mrs.
And
Her name ain't Thanasis. I'll tell you that much. It ain't Thanasis.
I hear you guys on Golden State, but here's the thing. I have to completely disagree with Golden State because Golden State right now has already started 2-2. Their age is already showing. They don't have the defense that they had last year. Portland, we talked about Dame earlier. Portland's 4-0. Cleveland's 3-1. Phoenix is up. Phoenix is, I believe Phoenix is also 3-1.
The Pelicans as well.
The Pelicans
are up there. Let's not deny that.
And the Pelicans look stupid good this year. Now, of course, we've already seen the issue with Zion being out for a game because he was injured again. But it doesn't look like this is anything extensive. And that other player that messed up his knee for New Orleans, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. They were talking about
Zion.
Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram.
Well, Brandon was in the. John
Herbert Jones.
Herbert Jones.
Oh yeah, Herbert Jones. Yeah, he messed up his knee. But if they can stay healthy, that is the best team in basketball.
You want to talk about deep?
Yeah. But right now, I would have to give it to either Portland, Milwaukee, or Phoenix.
Tony, I hate to do this to you, and I'm gonna have to lay it out there. Okay. This is why they gave me the show. Okay. because my knowledge of the NBA stretches past your rudimentary thinking about New Orleans, the Pelicans. When in the fuck are the Pelicans gonna win? We will know, guys, when the Pelicans are legitimate, okay? We'll know. The Warriors don't give a fuck about the regular season. They don't care. They don't care about it. It's just getting through, exactly like LeBron was doing for 10 consecutive years. He would just get through the regular season, 50, 55 wins. They're talented enough to slack off, rest, and Steph Curry's going to be out there shooting behind the back, fucking weird double bounce, like off the ground, fadeaways and shit with his left hand and up and
magician
whatever.
Shit. Yeah.
Just doing weird stuff.
Yep.
Like they're just going to be hanging out, like eating whatever they want. They don't give a fuck the whole time. And they're still going to win 55 games.
They won't need to worry about eating Popeyes.
Fuck no. Yeah. There ain't no gumbo in Golden State. No gumbo in Golden State. And yeah, but they're just going to squeak by 55 wins, get into the playoffs. 3 seed, 4 seed. That's when it begins for them. When you know that you're a legitimate contender, when the playoffs are where it begins for you in the NBA. They play 82 games, man. That is half the Major League Baseball schedule, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Like of basketball games, like up and like that's a lot of cardio, man. Lot of knees, lot of bouncing, lot of fucking ligaments. Like that's a lot of shit. That if you actually minimalize and you start to realize that the eye on the prize is the playoffs. So just the resting and stuff, like I get it. Cut the fucking season down. What are they losing at this point? There's no records or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no like home run records because they played this many games. They're just averages. All they do is averages. Yeah, they do like total points, but who's the all-time leader in single season total points? Anybody know that? Probably Will. It would have to be Will if they played 82 back then, but they didn't. Yep. They played like 50s.
Right. I mean, but how many points Will was scoring? It's still probably Will. Like
it is probably
100%
with 50 games at 50 points a game. 50 and 50 is the all time.
Dan, are you thinking 72 games or what's your?
I would say like in the 65 or probably 65 range.
60,
yeah,
65. Yeah.
Like why? You know what I'm saying? Like
you were at Wilt Chamberlain is the record. It was 61-62 season. Wilt Chamberlain by himself scored 4,029 points in that season.
So you're going what? So they did play more than 50 games then. It was pretty close to, I mean, because that's 80 times 50 is 4,000.
4,000.
Right? So they did play 82. Or they did even then. That's fucking crazy. And 62, I thought they played less games, but
I did too.
Yeah, if you're averaging 50, you're going to get there pretty quick. Like 4,000 points. What's that? You play 80 on the dot.
Yeah, there's 80 games. 80 games in the season. Hold on, let me look and see if I can see. And he played in 79 of them. He averaged 47.8 points a game that year. Wait, no. 38.4 points a game that year. 47.8 minutes a game. So he played literally, with very little exception, the entire minute. Yeah.
Only in blowouts they would take him out with like the last 2 minutes left. That was the
seconds,
only. Yeah. That's the 0.2 on the end there. That's the 0.2 that
Steve just got off the mail truck and came in and said, "All right,
Steve,
Will, we need a sub."
Steve got done at the steel factory. He still had this steel resin on his hands as he's shooting jumpers. He was wearing fucking his work boots. He was wearing his work boots, trying to guard Will Chamberlain like he's in prison. Yeah, that's pretty much. And that guy was good. Will Chamberlain could. I'm not. This is no disrespect to Will Chamberlain, and he would be a bench player in the NBA today. He's a bench player. Will Chamberlain is a bench player. If he makes the NBA, he might be in the DL. He might be in seriously. What was special about him? He was a post player at 7 foot tall. He didn't shoot jump shots. He didn't fucking shoot fadeaways. I take Dirk Nowitzki over Wilt Chamberlain in a draft all day long, all fucking day long, and twice on Sunday. I'll take Dirk. I'll take a lot of people over Wilt Chamberlain if we're doing like all time and they have to play in like today's NBA.
Oh yeah, today's NBA. Ooh, yeah.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
Like, best of his era, but the game is too different now than it was then. The competition is different. The game is different. It's just, I can't disagree.
So I want to talk about that real quick with you guys. That's where this whole thing gets derailed a little bit. Is like, dude, I'm always in that mode. I'm always in the mode of like now. Like if they could play against now, right? Because I think that these guys this is the pinnacle. There was no place where the NBA was more athletically talented. That's all I'm saying. Athletically talented. I'm not saying skill talented because I think that's probably untrue. But athletically talented, there's never been a place where it was this high, where every single player on a team was this athletically gifted. There's never been a point like this. That's why I always bring it to this point. Is I'm like, could they play now?
Could they?
I understand that's unfair though to that player. Like I can't ask Wilt to be like, he wasn't.
Well, but because the truth of the matter is, if we put Devin Booker on the court back in the 60s, he would drop 40 a game.
Dominate.
Absolutely own. He would. And Barkley.
He's Pistol Pete.
Get back a step bar. Barkley. We'll say a good year, like 92 Barkley. 92 Barkley. In the 61 season, same season that Wilt Chamberlain was in. Barkley is going to be matching Chamberlain point for point.
He goes 30-18. Yeah. I think he goes 30-18, like some stupid, ridiculous numbers.
I don't know. I think he'd be 30-20. Because he did spend a little bit more time down in the inside the paint, so I think he'd get more rebound. I think he'd do 30-20.
He would just flat be bigger, just like Wilt was. He would just flat be bigger than everybody else. He wouldn't be as tall as Wilt, but he would just be flat, be bigger, and just be able to just bully him out. I mean, if you've ever seen like a 7th grade girls basketball game where one of them is like 5'5" and all the rest of, you know what I'm saying? Like that's really what it was. Like it was just like, okay, even if she's bad, even if that 5'5" girl is bad or that 5'10" girl is bad, she's still really good because
she's going to dominate.
If she knows where the ball's at, if she's able to like understand conceptually the game, that's all that matters. She's just going to dominate.
Because when
hands up and turn, Dan. Hands up and turn.
Athletic advantages. There are sports like baseball. Your hands and athletic advantages aren't as much, but in basketball, if you have 4 inches of height and 8 inches of wingspan on every other player on the court,
in 60 pounds,
they can't touch you, and they can't touch you.
No, you just walk through them. You just walk through them to the ball. Like that's
they just bounce off you. Like
I've seen it. I have watched my fair share of 7th grade girls basketball games, and it is a nightmare. It is a fucking nightmare. I literally got angry while watching it because I could not, like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? They run the same, and it's the same in boys, honestly. It's the same in boys, but like it is an absolute shit show in the girls game. Like they just run the same play every time. Like they're not teaching them just how the game works. They're literally bringing them out and they're going, hey girls, this is what we need to do. Like, we're going to run this play. And they're like, okay, well, what's the objective of the game first is what they should be explaining. I'm not joking. Like they're just assuming that these girls know how to like Serena had to watch a game.
Mm-hmm.
She had to watch a game on TV while she was playing 7th grade basketball to figure out the rules. That's how she was figuring out how the game worked, was watching it on TV. And I was like, what the fuck? Why are they not teaching you that off the bat so that you know, like, hey, maybe if I need to go get this offensive rebound, like if somebody shoots, I can just go get it, right? And then I can score. Like, it's that simple. They just don't know that. So like when the ball goes up, they just turn around. They'll literally ball up, turn around. They'll be like, it'll bounce 3 times before somebody picks it up. I'm like,
yep.
Just go get the ball. It's craziness, but I digress.
And you're lucky if you have somebody that can handle the ball, and then you have, and you're lucky. And then if you have a big girl, you can just lob it into her. You know what I mean? If you
do have the one chick that can dribble the ball, here it comes.
Yep.
This is what it is. This is what the entire game is.
Absolutely.
It's just them blocking three chicks with their forearm and dribbling the ball behind them like this. And then they pick it up like an idiot at half court, and they just look, and then they just get it stolen. And that's the whole game. It is unbelievably frustrating. The boys' game is just like it. They don't teach them what the fucking rules are. Anyway, well, and they're not black, so I mean that's obviously they.
It's not racist if it's true.
It's hilarious. It's just a true fact.
Not down in our neck of the woods there, Dan.
Never understood why that's an insult for me to be like, yeah, black dudes are better at sports. Why it's not an insult, it's just a true thing. They're good at they're better at certain sports. Like they're better pretty much like probably all sports. We just don't, they just like to play football and basketball usually.
What was that Chris Rock joke where he was talking about how black people were good at all the sports, and they said as soon as they make a heated hockey rink, are going to take that shit too?
Yeah. No, absolutely. That is like look at all the black baseball players. Like they're all like there ain't many of them, but all of them are good. Almost all of them are good. Yeah, because they just but they didn't want to play like. I get it. Like you didn't want to play fucking baseball when you were younger. Like I get it. That's basically all it is. Like they just wanted to play basketball and football. Like seriously, I think basketball and football are probably funner as a younger kid, and athleticism.
There's a lot more to do.
Athleticism more directly relates to those two sports, right? You can just be good at it quicker, and so that's just why they got into it. It's not really rocket science, honestly. Bill Burr does the joke about like the Nazis creating the perfect human. And the Americans being like, I think we already did. Like this. Yeah. Like that's, I mean, for real. But, so Stacks, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Before we do the scariest players in NBA history for Halloween, Tony, did you bring a mask? I didn't tell you to bring a mask.
Not tell me.
But you wear mini masks. You wear mini masks.
Hold on, here.
Philosophically speaking,
I'm Zach Galifianakis in Hangover.
There you go.
You're Blackjack Galifianakis. You're 21 Galifianakis. I like it.
I love it.
I want to be his stand-up specials where he's playing the piano Galifianakis.
Oh God,
dude, how funny is that?
One of my favorite stand-up specials that does not get the respect it deserves. He is so good. So good.
Stacks, have you seen that? You know what we're talking about?
I have not seen that. No.
I'll have you check it out because it's for some people and it's not because he is the like dude. His comedy is the weirdest. What would you call it, Tyler? Like what kind of comedy is it? It's like performance art. Basically, it's very strange.
There's a lot of, I mean,
It's physical kind of.
So think like Dimitri or Bo Burnham. Okay, so think about a Bo Burnham show, but more acid. That's Zach Galifianakis.
Okay.
Right, and he's not even like playing. Like he's not playing songs basically the entire time, but he's at a piano. Like he's just like messing around with it and shit, and like just talking into the microphone. So it's like it's like kind of like physical comedy, but it's also just like it's abstract. It's like almost performance art. It's the weirdest thing ever, but he's hilarious. He just kind of goes off what the crowd does to him, and like or what they say to him and shit, and like it's fucking weird. I don't think he has a fucking joke written for the whole thing. Like, or if he does, he'll just say it randomly while he's playing piano, and that's it. It's crazy.
Hold on. That's not it. I'm trying to find the name of that special. I'm gonna find it. It looks like Netflix might have it, but I just got to figure out what the name of it is.
So actually, got to watch it just for.
I mean, Between Two Ferns is one of the greatest comedy shows. In general, like there is so much brilliance to what he does. Like his interview with Obama and his interview with Hillary Clinton.
Fantastic.
Quite possibly two of the funniest interviews I've ever listened to.
Yeah.
I was dying. And the movie Out Cold. Out Cold. Absolute comedic brilliance.
That's my motto. That and everybody Wang Chung tonight. It's a line from Out Cold.
I have never laughed so hard at the thought of somebody getting their dick stuck in a
jacuzzi jet. Yeah.
In my life.
I actually didn't know. I didn't know for a second, like the first couple of Between Two Ferns that I saw, I didn't know like whether or not they were like, was he just dropping that shit on them like in the interview, or was it like already set up before? And it's obviously set up before because I saw the outtakes and shit. And it's they're just trying not to laugh the whole time, which is fantastic. Like Brad Pitt's awesome. He holds it together the whole time without laughing and shit. Like he asked the chick who plays Mrs. Marvel or
Mrs. Maisel.
Captain Marvel.
Oh,
Captain Marvel, the chick that plays her. He's like, they told me that you didn't want any personal questions when you came here, and she was like, yeah. And he goes, okay, well, how are you today? And what age did you get your first period? And she just loses it. She starts laughing. Oh, it's awesome. But
okay. It is okay. So it is on Netflix, and it's called Zach Galifianakis Live at the Purple Onion.
Yes,
it was done in 2005, so it's about 17 years old. So get the fuck over to something's offensive.
I saw it a while ago.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's straight performance art. I think he's towing that line between it not being stand-up anymore and being like a performance thing. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm going to add him in.
You're good now.
I can add you now.
Yeah. You're good now. I was still on with Will in our other show, so I didn't want you pulling me in and like having to. And then speaking of the devil, because we just finished our show, so we were to come in here and
crash mine.
Hey, why you got to do your boy like that?
Hey, I got super excited because I can like bring people in now, you know?
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
What's up, buddy?
Good. How are you, Will?
What's up?
How was the first show?
It's going great. I sold your knobs this morning. I sold them. The William D. Morgan knobs. They're sold already. It's because I slapped that William D. Morgan brand on there, bro.
That's what it is, man.
Not a joke.
That's what it is.
Do you know how much I sold those doorknobs for? Just guess. $100.
$100.
What?
I see you guys.
That's what it is. I'm getting out there, boy.
They're from 1931 and they're cool as fuck.
I'm getting out there, man.
You better be giving him some of the NIL deal money.
Because it's just like it's more of an eBay team share. We just team share stuff. Except for you four don't ever fucking sell anything.
Before we run into the next segment, let's go ahead and do a break because we're at 50 minutes and run through the ads.
Okay.
When we come back, we got top 10 scariest players in NBA history. If you guys have a Halloween mask, Get that fucker on.
Y'all have a great night. I've got to hit the hay because I've got to be up in the morning. I just wanted to come in and say, y'all are awesome.
Josie's already got her mask on. Count it!
Oh!
Oh! I'm on fucking fire!
And
Josie,
that is the last episode of the Hardwood, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Lasted
snap.
for 50 minutes and 18 seconds.
Oh, snap.
That was longer than we intended.
So you know, when this show just disappears, know that Dan's mouth just got him in trouble.
You know it's going to be showing back up over there with double XP.
Oh. I got to for that.
They don't even exist anymore.
No, who? What are you talking about?
What?
What?
Y'all have a great night, boys.
All right.
All
Have
right,
a good one.
Josie.
Have a good one.
I can kick him out. Kick her out now, huh? Oh, yeah, so, yeah. Bam.
Okay. All right. I will run the ads. We're going to take a quick
I'm
break,
gonna get this
everybody.
man
We'll
out
be
of
Glad
this
right
she's
man.
back.
gone.
Gonna
Jeez.
get this man too much power.
Drunk with power.
Wrap up your Monday with some laughs. Make sure to join Will, Seven, Dan the Dick Warner, and Josie as they dive into the hottest topics of the week across sports, including baseball, basketball, and the NFL. You can catch the episode live Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, or Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. Don't miss the Sports Report Podcast. Don't miss Fight Night. Every Tuesday night, Will Morgan and Josie Haney break down the hottest topics of the week across combat sports, including UFC, boxing, WWE, AEW, and more. Past episodes are available on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, and each episode will air again Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. Don't miss Fight Night. Tune in or tap out. Put the kids to bed, put on your shades, and crack open a cold one during Sports Report After Dark with Seven and Dan the Dick Warner. You can catch After Dark Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, and again Saturday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern on West Coast Radio. We believe that athletes are people too, and Skip Bayless is one of the lizard people. Don't miss Sports Report After Dark. For all things baseball, don't miss the Winter Meetings podcast Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/The Sports Report Podcast, and again Tuesday mornings on West Coast Radio at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Oh, wait. You know what? Hold on. I just got a mask.
Stacks, that one's awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Oh my god.
You,
I
hey,
have Pennywise, right?
hey, I didn't know this before the night. We'll be glad Josie left. Josie's afraid of clowns. I didn't know that until the night. I'm glad Josie gone because
Is she also afraid of weird rabbits? This is the only way to describe this thing. It's a weird rabbit. It's from Donnie Darko.
you look like one of those. Look at him, man.
Yes.
Look at him.
That is a gas mask bong haul. That's the best one.
Dan looks like one of those twisted animals from Alice in Wonderland. That's what Dan looks like right now.
Yeah. It's the mask from Donnie Darko. Did you ever see Donnie Darko?
No.
You never saw Donnie Darko, the movie?
Mm-mm.
Well, you might like that movie. It's a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, check it out.
But he's like scared of this like bunny.
So we don't get like taken off of Facebook.
What's that? Oh, it's the
Now it just looks like a GIF mask, so we don't get taken off of Facebook.
Oh yeah.
It's a Billabong is what I meant. Remember that company? Surfing company. So I got we put the masks on, so I got the top. Can you guys hear me still? I'm talking into a freaking.
We got you.
Top 10 scariest, and this is not just like scary, like, oh, they're gonna score on you, right? This is like I'm actually scared of them. Like I don't want to like if I ever got into like a dispute with that guy on the court, I'm not wanting any part of that. Okay. So at number 10, Will, can you imagine who might be at number 10? Just I've said his name on every single sports report. Number 10, LeBron James. And I don't even know if LeBron James has ever been in a fight in his life before. Do you think he's ever been in a fight? Like a fist fight?
Probably not.
No.
When he was younger. When he was younger, I bet he was.
I mean,
not with those manicured hands. I don't think so.
I mean, there's so many, but there's a lot of players I would put ahead of him though.
I know, but I'm saying like just pure like boxing. If he gets to train for a boxing match, you don't want to fight that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't like if he gets to actually like go at you, like toe to toe.
Right.
I don't know if he's gonna fight you in a game. But
Right.
like, I don't think he would because he obviously hasn't. He's a lot like Shaq in that respect, where Shaq never fought anybody. Right. Basically, he would because he couldn't because he would just dominate. He, like literally, he just knew he would kill you. Then he can't go to jail for murder, so he just wouldn't do it.
Right.
Number 9, I got Marcus Smart, dog. Marcus Smart. I feel like Marcus Smart got made fun of a lot in his younger years because he has the the acne scarring and all that stuff. And what Marcus Smart? No,
I got somebody better. I got somebody better than him,
bro. I got a bunch of better people.
Yeah, we're going 10 to 1. So
I got number 8. I got 7. Number 8. I got Jay Crowder.
Yeah,
Jay Crowder. Who in the fuck wants any piece of that dude? He's 6'8", 270, just brick solid shithouse. That guy looks like he just gets up and eats a bowl of Wheaties and benches 415. That's what Jay Crowder looks like he does. And shoots threes. Shoots overhead threes without jumping. He just fucking shoots overhead fully extension threes over his head with a flick of a wrist. Number 7 and 6 and 7 are Markieff and Marcus Morris. Honestly, can't tell the difference between them. So I just put them in 6 and 7. I don't honestly know which one plays for anybody ever. I just think that they're the same guy.
Right.
They look a lot alike. Did anybody notice that? Are they?
They do look a lot alike.
They do.
I mean, they're brothers, so it's not surprising.
They're fraternal twins.
They're twins as well.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Number 5. Twins, I think that means they were born same egg sac. I think if I remember correctly.
As my daughter calls it. Or as my daughter calls it, because she's a twin. She's a twin like that. Whereas my daughter calls it, we're fraternal.
Fraternal.
That's what my daughter calls it. We're her brother. We're fraternal.
My girlfriend ate her twin in the womb, so that's good.
Damn. Savage. Damn.
She ate it. She ate
savage.
It was supposed to be her sister, but
she
was hungry.
You ain't taking my inheritance, woman.
Like a pit bull. She just ate one of the young. Yeah.
Quit bragging about the fact that you have a woman that knew what she wanted to eat. Okay.
She was all over it. It was a boy too. Imagine that. She's a man eater.
Start calling her praying mantis.
Praying mantis. There you go.
Lotus. Stalking lotus.
Stalking lotus.
Number 4, Steven Adams. Steven Adams.
I think
scary.
I think I can take Steven Adams. I ain't gonna see in front.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I ain't gonna see him in front.
He is 7'1".
Size don't matter. It's attitude.
Dude, he's so strong too. He literally picks dude. Like, have you seen the video where he picks fucking? I can't even remember who it is. It's like a 6'6" dude. I can't remember who it is. Picks him up and like just like moves him away from a fight. That's what he does in games. Is like he would be at that guy at the party that just like he doesn't just break up one fight; he breaks up all of them simultaneously because he can just like hold people back with like one. And he's Australian, so he's
That's true.
he's super nice guy, but he's he grew up around like snakes and shit and all that crazy stuff in Australia. So I've been to Australia. Will,
what? Y'all got an Australian theme park in Nebraska?
I've been to the actual country continent of Australia.
Really?
Brisbane. Yeah,
Did you see some kangaroos?
I played a football tournament. Yes, I did. I got to pet. I went to a kangaroo petting zoo.
Wow.
Not a joke. And
wow.
you know what? I was scared of those motherfuckers. Not a joke. the ones that like aren't like, dude, they're huge for one. They're way bigger than they look in real life.
Yeah.
And their tails are this big around at the base, and they whip them around like they jump on them and stuff. So like it sounds like a whip, looks like a whip. It seems dangerous.
It kicked the dog crap out of you too.
There's a picture of me just like leaning away from one, like I'm like literally full extension trying to touch it. Yeah, I'm like no. It's completely fine because it's miserable because it gets petted every day. So yeah, I also have a picture of me holding a koala bear. So
okay,
it's fucking pretty awesome, dude. That thing is miserable too.
There you go.
There's a zoo in Wichita where they've got an island where you can go sit on it and feed lemurs, and it's only like $10. I mean, the zoo is like 20, but once you're in the zoo to like feed the lemurs, it's like $10.
If you guys are gonna go to a zoo anywhere outside of San Diego, what the second biggest?
Omaha,
Henry Dorley in Omaha is the second biggest zoo in the United States. It's a fucking masterpiece. They have like a desert dome and a jungle place and a rainforest thing, and it's fucking crazy. They create like environments. It's nuts. Shout out to Henry Dorley. Stacks, count it.
Sir.
Henry Dorley, Omaha, baby. Getting that Nebraska talk in.
Yes, sir.
Number 2, I got my watch is talking to me now. Number 2, James Harden. Guys, listen. James Harden's my number 2 because he has that special skill of disappearing in big games. That was
you need him the most. He gone.
Will, I need your
there you go.
And then my number 1 scariest NBA player of all time is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. And it's literally because if he could have his own dad killed, he would kill any of us. Yeah.
You left a whole mess of players off that list.
Will, who did I miss?
Oh my gosh. First of all, Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace, yeah, I thought about that.
You missed Ben Wallace. That's a big dude, man.
Artest because he's crazy.
Artest because he half crazy.
Or Metal
Charles Oakley. General tough guy from the NBA. Derek Coleman gets forgot about a lot.
Dude, I was gonna put Charles Oakley on there.
Yeah, but Charles is awesome. Charles Oakley was toughest dude
Marcus
ever.
Camby?
Rodman.
That was Michael
Camby?
Jordan.
Camby was soft.
That was Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing's bodyguard.
That was his enforcer. He
was the enforcer role. Mm-hmm.
The hockey equivalent of an enforcer.
Yeah. And then Derek Coleman gets forgotten about a lot of times too.
Derek Coleman was a brick shit house.
Straight dog. And he actually had some skills, but straight dog. You didn't want to mess with Derek. You did not want to mess with Derek. Nope.
How about like a Bill Laimbeer? I feel like Bill Laimbeer would just fight you until his face fell off. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Laimbeer would just go at you until you better kill him because he's gonna keep coming at you until you.
That ain't what Larry Bird said when Larry Bird picked his ass up and dumped him. You remember that?
Yeah. No.
Bam. Yeah. Go back and watch that finals game. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. He picked him up. Bam. And then they dumped him. So but yeah, man, don't forget about Derek. Ben Wallace. I gotta put Dennis Rodman up in there, even though because he crazy as hell.
I was gonna put Rodman.
Yeah, gotta put Rodman in. And the thing with Ben Wallace and Rodman, they ain't gotta score a point to make a difference in the game. Not a point.
How about Draymond?
I'm 50-50 on Draymond.
I should have
50-50.
Sheed. I like
Sheed,
that.
I'm there with Sheed.
Draymond, he's on my list now because of that punch that he threw at Jordan.
Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole messed it up. Because Jordan Poole, you ain't supposed to let nobody come over to you.
No.
And punch you. No.
Get your hands up.
Right. Get your hands up there. Yep.
But at the same time, though, like in Jordan Poole's defense, I've said this before. You can't just think. Yes, you can't think that your teammate's just coming up to fucking hit you in the face, dude.
Right. Right.
No.
Like,
Exactly.
It's gonna be a scrum to Jordan Poole. He thinks it's gonna be like a push, like maybe we fucking, they do that fake like hold me back shit.
Oh yeah.
And we bark at each other. And
Yeah.
Draymond just went from 0 to 120. Just went straight there. He was like, nope, because Draymond ain't playing no shit.
Nah,
and that's why I think fucking Draymond should be on the list, because Draymond clearly showed, and that was some built up stuff too. I mean, but Draymond will throw down at the drop of a hat, bro.
Another dude that gets forgotten about because it's kind of like really back in the day, but if you go back and look at him, Xavier McDaniel.
Interesting.
If you go back and look at him at the end of the day, Xavier McDaniel.
In the 80s?
Good. Another tough dude. Yep. Another tough dude.
Right.
Yep.
In the 80s, yeah.
Yep. Another tough dude. So, and he was another dude that could not only a tough dude, but also has some skill. He can actually score and rebound. So yeah.
I like Ben Wallace the most out of those.
Yeah, Ben Wallace.
Because you know that Ben Wallace, and this is crazy. I actually have in our time machine segment, it's coming up right now. I actually have the first one is the brawl at the Palace of Auburn Hills.
Yep.
Yeah, first excuse me. I'll figure it out. But there we go. June 20, November 19th, 2004. Go ahead.
Let me ask y'all a question. Would you put Matt Barnes in that list?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I would too.
Kobe might be. Kobe didn't get to show it enough because nobody was going to let anybody fuck with Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like Kobe didn't get to show it, but Kobe would have thrown down.
Yeah.
But Matt Barnes starts throwing in his face.
Yeah.
Kobe. I think Kobe has to be on the list. Too. I think Kobe has to be on the list because when you look at stuff that he did, like he was the evolution of Larry Bird when it comes to talking shit, but he went to a completely different level, even just above being an evolution. You guys like him, find some random player that's on a team and is just saying their family members' birthdays. Like just like that, the level of savage psychoticness contained within Kobe Bryant is just unreal. Like that dude, just what I know about Kobe, that dude would probably scare the shit out of me in person, and not just because I'm only 5'7.5".
Let me ask y'all a question. Would you put Gary Payton on this list?
I feel like Peyton was more like within the game,
but I don't know if he could have backed it up.
I don't know.
He was more within the game. He would have thrown down. Whether or not it would have happened, I mean, Gary Payton would beat the shit out of me, but like that's not right now. Right now, like currently, I beat the shit out of Gary Payton.
Gary Payton back then,
back then, no, God, no, he's gonna fuck me up.
I will say this about one player: it didn't matter who talked trash to him; it only enhanced his game when you talk trash to him. Shout out to John Stockton, because many players went after John Stockton talking trash, and all he did, instead of going back and jawing back at you, he got you back through his play.
The Mormon Marauder.
Yep. There you go. I like that. Yeah, I like that. And a lot of times John don't get a lot of credit, but go back and look at NBA history. Outside of Magic and Isaiah, who's a better point guard?
Overall facilitator, Stockton. Yeah,
Stockton was one of my favorite players when I was a kid. Like Stockton was definitely up there. He was probably my first favorite point guard.
Because he had hairy legs like you.
Yes. I've been shaving my legs since I was 7 years old. No, but with Stockton, like Stockton was just that good. It wasn't scary. He wasn't imposing. Like, Kobe, like even just the glimmer of Kobe changed the energy of an entire game.
Yep.
There were teams that when part of their strategy involved preparing for Kobe to come back on the floor, because you knew once he came back on the floor, it was going to flip back into Kobe's favor because that's just what he did. His presence alone was just so defining. Stockton was a talented dude, but he was not scary. Like, he was scary good, but he wasn't scary.
No, he wasn't imposing that because I'm taller than John Stockton. He's about 6'6'1", but he's got some records that are not ever going to be broken, particularly that assist record. That assist record never will be broken.
Also, it says a lot about the it factor. It really does. And like I'm a Stockton fan, but never won a title. Was there year after year after year after year. Never took it to the next level because he doesn't have exactly what Tony basically was just talking about. He doesn't have the it factor. You almost have to have that to that's the little bit of difference in these crazy athletes. That it factor is just that little bit of difference. And I don't think
that killer instinct.
And that's why I think make Magic and Isaiah better than him, because they can go out there and do it all. You need 30 from one of those guys. Magic and Isaiah can get you 30. John really couldn't get you 30. That wasn't part of his game. But if it was somebody, if you needed somebody to run your offense, and let's not forget as far as steals go and being a decent off the ball defender, he wasn't bad. So
I'm going to throw out a comparison here that just let it stir. Yeah, CP3. He's a white CP3.
Me and Tony can read each other's minds. I don't know if you knew that.
He might be a little bit better. He might be a better.
I think there are aspects where Stockton is better. I'm not saying CP3 is as good as Stockton. So let me clarify.
Right.
But comparison wise, when you think about and like honestly, even CP3 is more savage than John Stockton. Realistically,
I think they're super similar. You're right.
But I mean, they're an actor.
I think John was a better outside shooter than Chris. But outside of that, that'd be about it.
If you give John Stockton the dog instinct of Chris Paul, John Stockton has at least one championship ring.
The biggest difference between those two guys was that CP3 is good in ISO. He was in his prime. He was really like he had the ball on a string. He could ISO guys and hit fade. Like that was part of the Clippers game for a while. Was him just ISOing and then shooting fadeaways. And he was super good at it. Like he was super good. So Stockton never had that because he didn't need it.
Hornets version of Chris Paul too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew who really.
And you know what though? The commissioner screwed him on that trade to the Lakers.
They did.
They should have approved that trade.
That could have been Chris Paul's ring right there.
And honestly, with the way that Phoenix is playing this year, I think the second half of the season is going to be very telling. But if the way that Phoenix is playing right now is ramping up this season,
right,
Phoenix might be that team in the West.
Might be.
Tony, you're just doing what they like. There's nothing that the Suns can do to make me go, oh yeah, they might be a legit contender. They were a legit contender last year and the year before that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're doing it consistently now. So like I want them to go 52-30. You know what I'm saying? And have some turmoil and get hot. And then they might win a title.
I think part of it last year too was I don't think they respected the Mavericks. Not like that.
They didn't.
I think that was part of it too.
They did.
I think and also like if you look at Devin Booker, just in the sample size of these 4 or 5 games that the Suns have played this year. If you watch Devin Booker, he looks like you can just see a maturation already in his play style. He's playing a little bit more mature. He's taking the looks that he should be taking as the leader of that team, so that it's not so reliant on Chris Paul putting dimes up to everybody. He's just handling what he should be as the face of that team.
Right.
And I think that the difference is when you look at the Suns last year, the year before, both great teams. Devin Booker, who was the centerpiece of that team, wasn't taking control. If you watch the Suns this year, Devin Booker has taken control of that team. And that's where the difference comes in.
Yeah.
Devin Booker took control in a lot of regular season games last year, though, too. He did.
He did.
Does he lack the it factor?
Actually, I think it's Ayton that lacks the it factor.
I agree with that.
And I say that as a Suns fan that loves Ayton. The Suns jersey I have is a DeAndre Ayton jersey. I love him, but he's not physical enough.
He comes up short too many times. Literally too many times.
Like there's some clutch plays like that playoffs play from 2 years ago.
Paul's not in the lineup. I mean, that helps. Yeah.
it does. Yeah, if CP3 is not in that lineup, it does help. But DeAndre Ayton does not have the stones to take that next step and be the physical player that the Suns need him to be. If DeAndre Ayton was that physical player, there is no question the Suns are that team. But with where they sit right now, I think Devin Booker can at least get them back to the finals with if the control that he is now taking consistently stays throughout the season. That'll be the key, is consistency with that piece. But if it's Devin Booker's team truly now, then the Suns are in.
My issue with Ayton is the fact he's too much of a follower and not a leader. That's my issue with Ayton.
Well, his skill set plays within that.
You gotta step. At some point, you gotta. I know he's young still, but at some point, you gotta step it up. At some point, you gotta step it up. You see your team like they're struggling, like in that Mavericks series. At some point, you gotta step up, man.
It comes down to the fact that you can't give the ball to DeAndre Ayton at the end of the game and help him to ISO score for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That kills his credibility as a leader completely.
You can use him for those oops and those things where you have to use his size when his size is going to be the advantage, and he will take care of that all day long. That is Ayton's bread and butter. But it kind of like with
he can post up more though.
But he's not physical enough to post up, and that's what I'm saying. That physicality that DeAndre Ayton lacks in his game is the difference between the Suns having at least one out of the 2 rings that they should have had out of this last few seasons. I'm just saying.
But at the same time, how many bigs post up like that though nowadays? I mean,
it's rare. It's rare because everybody wants to play their want to play facing the basket. But when you're a 7-footer like that and have the height advantage and the side, and this is why I get what Tony's saying. When you look at the fact that he doesn't play physical with his size, can you imagine if he just did a back to the basket game on a low block, on a left low block right there?
He's a physical freak.
He's got so many. He has so many options he could do. Hook shot, fade away, anything like that. But for some reason, everybody wants to play with their facing the basket. And that's not necessarily the right way to play to me.
What's crazy is Magic Johnson was not the most physical player.
No.
And I will say that. But if you add more physicality to DeAndre Ayton, he would be more comparable to Magic Johnson and what he would be able to do inside the paint.
DeAndre Ayton?
I said more comparable. Listen to those key words, Dan, before you have a fucking canary. More comparable. Because of his size and what he could do inside if he used that physicality.
That low block to the free throw line extended, Ayton needs to dominate that area. And because he's not physical enough, or he doesn't care enough to get a back to the basket game, he's going to continue to suffer.
DeAndre Ayton is a bigger Anton Jameson.
That's
about right. That's about right.
That's basically what he is at this point, which won't get you anything but referenced on a show called The Hardwood. 8 years after your career's 12 years after your career's over.
What did he get, like $150 million in his deal that he signed?
Anton got a lot.
No.
Ayton, yeah. Legitimate money for, he's a role player. But plays an important role.
You're paying that man not off his skill, you're paying that man off potential. And potential what he can do.
And I've said this, and I've been talking, and I've brought up the issue of his physicality for a couple of years now. If he was more physical, Phoenix would have paid him without making him go get somebody else offer the money for him to get it.
Agreed.
They would have locked him down immediately.
He really reminds me of Eldon Campbell back in the day, because you remember when the Lakers had Eldon Campbell and Shaq, and he said, I can't play with Shaq. I can't play with the hell you can't. Shaq was taking the low post. Eldon, you have all free throw line.
The elbow
extended. You had the elbow right there. You were a good jump shooter. The hell you couldn't play with Shaq, but for some reason I can't play with Shaq. Man.
Just have that trainer toss you a ball at the elbow where you're gonna get it 14 times a game and shoot that fucking shot over and over and over and over again.
He could do it though. That's the thing with Eldon. He had the ability to shoot.
He could have,
and he didn't want to do it. These guys are like AD. I don't want to play center.
Yeah.
A species will not be judged on its ability to dominate, but its ability to adapt.
Yep.
We're gonna end this. We're gonna end this show, guys, with a little thing I like to call the time machine. We're gonna get an intro for it eventually. We'll play an intro. It'd be like, "In my time machine." Okay.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, baby.
It's gonna be the time machine. So basically, we just get to go act like we had this show at certain times in history, and we get to talk about certain times in history. I'm just gonna bring up some NBA history moments. My first one was Brawl at the Palace of Auburn Hills.
Yes.
Holy shit!
Yes.
Shout out to Steven Jackson.
What an issue! What an issue that was. The first time the NBA fans have been scared like that. I'll tell you that much.
Shout out to Steven Jackson for getting through that.
Hockey fans were giving that fight grade at the Brawl in the Palace like a 7 out of 10.
Best part of that whole thing, and I don't know if you guys remember this. Jermaine O'Neal. There's like a 5'6" white dude who squares up. He's fat. Squares up to Jermaine O'Neal, 7'1", squares up to him, and Jermaine O'Neal throws a punch at this dude and slips on a soda like halfway through the punch, and it makes him like lean the punch left, and he misses with this punch. I swear to God, guys, if he doesn't hit that soda on the ground, we're talking about a homicide.
Oh yeah,
homicide happening on an NBA court. Like we were talking about that one time that Jermaine O'Neal killed a guy with a punch.
Like,
the guy doesn't even defend himself. Like he's literally like this still. Just drunk.
Y'all forget, Jermaine O'Neal was a big dude.
Jermaine was huge. And
he was a beast.
Skims this guy's nose because Jermaine O'Neal halfway through the punch like slips on the soda and he like overthrows the punch.
It's like trying to take a punch from Brock Lesnar. Like you don't want to be on the receiving end of it.
No,
the real ones. No.
If he lands it square,
big ass lunchbox hands. Like
if he lands it square, that guy looks like Brock Lesnar. He would have punched that dude. He would have punched that dude into a different primordial body.
Like Brock Lesnar's daughter. There you go.
Yeah, just give him a straight. Just give him a straight Tyson Galifianakis type.
Ooh, Brock could have done better than that.
That was the first one. We already hit on that for some weird reason. It all comes around. June 24th, 1998, the 1998 NBA draft.
Remember that?
In which this guy right here was drafted to the Dallas Mavericks. My favorite player of all time, Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Warner Nowitzki, by the way. His middle name is Warner. Just coincidence, maybe.
His dad was so proactive on how great Dirk was going to be. He changed their last name to Warner.
Well, he's only like 6 years older than me, I think.
You could be part of plenty of international all-star teams. That's for sure.
Dirk Nowitzki is the second greatest power forward of all time. Come at me.
I can't. I don't
know.
Who?
Because you
give me two. Come on. I'm going to speak for Dan on this one. Give me two.
You can't sit here and say Kevin Garnett was trash. You can't sit here and say even though I don't like him, Karl Malone. You can't say that. Tim Duncan. There.
I was going to say Duncan.
The only one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Duncan's the only one.
I don't know about second because I respect Kevin Garnett's game. I'll put him to me. He'd be right behind Kevin. But
so three.
Yeah, he'll be three for me. He'll be three for me. Because I'm not gonna see it, even though he only got the one chip. That's all Dirk has too. So I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect KG.
Well, I know that you weren't here when I asked this question. This is the first question I asked in the show was, I really didn't know the answer. I kind of had an idea of what the answer might be, but this is the first time this has been said on this network outside of me. I asked Stacks who the GOAT of the NBA is. And
Michael Jordan.
Stacks said,
Michael Jordan. If you believe LeBron, that's fine with me.
Stacks said this guy right here.
If you believe LeBron James, that's fine with me. I ain't got no problem with that because it's all based on personal opinion. But to me, it's more than just the accolades. It's how Jordan did it. The 6-0 doesn't really mean anything. The MVPs don't really mean anything. It's the way Michael did it. because it takes a special person to take life, grab it, and form it into your own image. And that's what Jordan did. And it's the way he did it that was impressive. Kobe did the same thing to a certain extent. So that's why I will always keep MJ as the GOAT. Not for the 6 for 6 or the MVPs, none of that stuff. But the way Michael did it and the way he handled himself, is he the best with the media? Hell no. Was he the best person to talk to on pressers? Hell no. But at the end of the day, it's the way Michael did it and succeeded is what makes him better than LeBron to me.
So I want to ask you guys a question. I want to pose this because I've been thinking about this, and it's something because, we were talking earlier about, when you look at raw talent of a player, which one would you take overall? When you strip away all the accolades, you just look at the raw talent of the player in their prime, who would you take? And we had all leaned towards LeBron, and I'm sure you would probably still take Michael in that scenario. But I want to ask you a question. Sure. Does LeBron get as big as he is now without Michael getting as big as he was in the 90s?
No, because you have to remember, LeBron grew up idolizing Michael like a lot of players did.
23.
So right. So if it wasn't for Michael, hell, I take it further back. If it wasn't for Michael, and people forget about the NBA finals back in the day was on tape delay. So let's not forget that. And when you have Magic, you have Bird, then Michael came along and made everything for the league the way it is today. Those three guys got to get the ultimate respect, because without those three, we wouldn't have the NBA the way it is right now.
My only question to you about the whole thing, Will, is do you think LeBron James wouldn't have been able to do exactly what Michael Jordan did at the same time? He absolutely would have. If he was in the same time period, yeah. If he was literally, you just reverse it so LeBron's in that era.
LeBron in that era.
I mean, he's a superior athlete. The only thing that gives me pause, would you build your team around LeBron like they built for Jordan?
You
put shooters around the dude,
right? You have to have shooters around him. And if you go back and look at Jordan had a few, with Paxson, BJ Armstrong, Steve Kerr. He had a few. But yeah, LeBron probably would. He probably would dominate in the 90s because he's just that great of a player. But that's what I'm saying. He's just not my greatest all the time.
So that's literally my GOAT argument, Will, is my GOAT argument is that if you just strip them down as players, if you just go LeBron's skills, and we're going to take mindset out of this, because I will concede that Michael Jordan's mindset and his killer instinct is far superior to LeBron James. I'm going to concede that. And I'm going to tell you, I still think LeBron's the GOAT because I think he's a better basketball player. That's that simple. I think that he's actually better at basketball. But
you also have to understand one thing. The way that those Bulls teams were constructed, Jordan didn't have to do half the stuff LeBron did. Because when you look at LeBron, you asking LeBron to do so much more. Whereas when you look at those Bulls teams surrounded him with a mix of players that individually did what LeBron did. Let's say, for example, LeBron's rebounding. You got Horace Grant. You got Dennis Rodman. Let's say, for example, his ability to shoot the three. Okay, you got Paxson, Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc. Let's say to pass a basketball. Okay, who brought the ball up most of the time? It wasn't Michael Jordan, it was Scottie Pippen. So you had people around him to do what LeBron is doing on his own. And I don't know. It's not Michael's fault that's the way it was. Because they built those teams around him. And also, I want to say one more thing. That first repeat that the Bulls had, none of those teams were super teams. But that second repeat that they did, those were super teams.
Legit.
I'm going to close with this. When we look at Jordan and LeBron, the reason why I take LeBron over Jordan is quite simple. I will say that when you look at as a shooter, it's probably Michael. But as an all-around basketball player, it's LeBron. So, and when I think of and for basketball, when I think of a GOAT, I'm thinking of somebody that's going to be able to do whatever on the court that you need. Now, you can't do that with any other sport. You can't think about the GOAT of baseball and it just be one person, because there's so many different positions. There's, batter, batting, pitching, stuff like that. That's why players like Babe Ruth and Shohei Ohtani are such anomalies. Or with football, Tom Brady's the GOAT quarterback, then you also have the GOAT receiver, the GOAT tight end, the GOAT safety, all those different things. Basketball is the only one where an all-around position is really where you can take it. And that's why I take LeBron over Jordan, because LeBron is a better all-around player.
If somebody wants to tell me, if someone wants to tell me LeBron James is the best small forward of all time, I got you. Because really, when you look at it at the end of the day, no one comes close to LeBron from that spot. People forget Michael wasn't a small forward; he's a shooting guard. So, he's not going to be asked to do what LeBron does. And like I said earlier, he had teammates that did individually what LeBron does. So, if you tell me that LeBron is the greatest small forward of all time, I'm there with you because he is.
Well, I'm going to discount anybody's opinion who doesn't think that he's at least number 2. If you put
you got me because I think he's number 2. I know.
He's number 2. I know that I'm saying, like, anybody who actually knows basketball, I don't think that you can actually. It can be a bias thing, and the only thing that people try and always do is they'll throw Kobe in, and I'm not mad about that. But at the same time, like, you can't do it. Like, if you're being realistic, it is 1, 2, and then everybody else. There is Jordan, LeBron, whichever order you want to put them in, and then there's everybody else. If everybody was willing to accept that part, I'd be fine with. I'd be like, all right, you can just. Obviously, people are going to think Jordan's better. It's fine. But like when it starts getting into a third person into it, I'm like, are you guys fucking serious right now? There are 2 greatest players of all time. There's two.
That's why I can't. That's why I have a hard time taking Skip Bayless serious when he's talking basketball, because there are a grip of players that he will put ahead of LeBron James.
See, I can't do that because when you look
that's
at
all
it,
for clicks, though.
That's true. That's all doing it for reaction.
Yeah.
But to me, you can't do that because if you go back and look overall, particularly in this generation, what LeBron has done and his longevity, he is to me, he's number 2. He's number 2. Now, number 3, if you want to go Tim Duncan, if you want to go,
that's where it gets to be a crapshoot.
That's when it be more of an opinion thing. But to me, LeBron is number 2. If you have him anywhere else, that's just wrong.
I would think any sensible basketball fan would say the same thing. I would think, but like it just becomes a bias thing, and like they don't actually think that that's the truth. They just think that it's like, oh, well, I just like Kobe better, so I put him in there. Like that's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about like actual merit here. Like we can actually judge this stuff.
Now, if you say Kobe top 5, okay.
Toby's absolutely top 5. I think Kobe's top 5.
100%. Mount Rushmore for sure. Yeah,
get you that. But LeBron is at least number 2. And if somebody wants to come and tell me you switch him, that's fine with me too. Because you have to look at Jordan is done. He's done. But LeBron's LeBron's future is not cemented yet. So if you want to say LeBron's number 1, that's fine. But to me, because of the way Jordan did things back then, that series with Dallas never happens with Michael Jordan like it happened to LeBron. So
it doesn't.
So,
it doesn't.
Yeah,
I personally think that that is the difference. Obviously, demeanor is the difference.
Yes.
And it.
But
go
ahead. Go ahead.
No, that leads perfectly into my third and final time machine moment of the night. It's June 19th, 2016. The only team in NBA Finals history to come back from 3 games to 1.
You know what, though?
Against the greatest basketball team to ever probably walk an NBA court at that point.
2016 Warriors, absolutely.
I'd say 2017 Warriors only because Durant was on it. Honestly, like they were the same team with Durant. So like they dominated that whole year. They didn't win 70 games, but they dominated that whole year and won a title.
I mean, they were the best team in the NBA that year. The 2016 was the best team. Yeah,
they were like the best for like 4 or 5 consecutive years there, and it was like by a long shot.
Yeah,
and I think that 2017 team is probably better because they came out and just raging with Durant. They were like, "Oh, we're the same team that won 70 games, except for we have fucking."
You know what, though, Dan? I'll say this. If LeBron would have beat one of those teams, with Kevin Durant on there,
that changes your narrative, doesn't it?
That's the goal.
There's no question. There's no question
at that point.
You can't.
I'll say that if he would have beat those Kevin Durant teams, Here they go.
You know what's funny is I think Skip Bayless has actually said the same thing, if I recall. I'm pretty sure, as much of a hard ass as he is on LeBron being the GOAT, he's said that if he would have beaten that team at least once in one of those finals years, that he would be willing to entertain Jordan as the GOAT.
You have to at that point.
You have no choice.
You really wouldn't, and you're expecting him to have that like once in a lifetime comeback 3-1, like or just by himself. It's not by himself, but like it was comparatively to the Warriors, it was by himself, dude.
It was by himself.
Yeah,
it was by himself.
Like so, that's what they're saying is like if he would have been able to will that into happening, like holy shit, like yeah, I get it now. Like that now he is like he it feels like he has to will things into happening when Jordan. They just happened for him because he put himself in the right position for them to happen. And that's the biggest difference in the whole thing. And I understand that. But like scratch game, you got draft, franchise fantasy all time, any player that you want to start a franchise with, and you get him for his whole fucking career. You get that guy, throw out all the accolades, you just get a player. I think if you're sensible about it, you're taking LeBron James.
Depends what you're looking for.
Senior.
Because if you already have a team that set it forward, I'm not adding another forward.
Well, no, we're starting from the beginning. You're building the whole team.
You're starting from scratch. Yep, scratch.
I got you.
Will's going to be halfway through the draft, and LeBron hasn't been picked yet, so that's not a good start. Will's got forwards already. Will's got forwards, and LeBron's still on the board. He's letting him wonder whether he should take him or not. No, we're talking about the number one overall pick of all time. Like, I think that you take LeBron. I don't think there's a, I mean, that's also saying against this competition today.
Right. Not like, competition back then.
Obviously, you take fucking LeBron in 1961, so he can average 74 and 28, like 74, 28, and 27.
He wouldn't have no look, if LeBron was back then, he wouldn't have no competition to like what? 80? Early 70s, maybe a little bit half because you got to do he would still have to do with Oscar Robertson, and Oscar Robertson was no joke, but he was even bigger than Oscar.
Dude, Will averaged 50 a game, and Will is basically like Greg Oden. Seriously, Will was like kind of like a skinnier Greg Oden. Like that's really what it was. Greg Oden, you send fucking DeAndre Ayton back to 1961. DeAndre Ayton is averaging 60 and 30.
And let's not
give him 40.
And let's not forget. Shout out to Will. Love Will to death. But Bill Russell put that thing on him. And that's what a lot of people forget. Bill Russell stopped him a lot from winning championship.
He averaged 50 and 20 and won 2 titles.
He stopped him a lot.
He averaged 50 one season. Will Chamberlain only averaged 50 one season. His career points per game is like 23. But with crap, I can't remember where I was
which to me makes Kareem's accomplishment even more incredible. When you go back and look at Kareem hardly lost. He was he won in every stage of his career.
He's a model of consistency.
Man.
Obviously, he has a shot. Like he has a consistent shot that is known as the shot that he coined.
Play defense, block shots.
Which I actually want to put that into works right now, that Dirk Nowitzki now can claim the 1 foot fadeaway.
Yep.
The one get to a back foot and fade away is actually Dirk Nowitzki's signature shot. And I don't think anybody ever recognizes that. That Durant uses that. LeBron has used that. Yeah. That's actually a thing. Devin Booker uses it. It's just get him in front of you and then just get to your back foot as fast as you can. Get your back, and he's 7 foot and he shot at a really high arc and it was unblockable. It was the hook shot of the 2000s. There's not a it was unblockable.
KD uses it too.
KD was the most famous version.
And the thing that I think Dirk gets disrespected for a lot, he was a hell of a rebounder too. And he didn't get a lot of props for that, but he was a hell of a rebounder too.
It almost seems like he just got rebounds because he was 7'1". Like it almost just literally does. It's just like he just got rebounds. Like he would just pick him out of the air all the time. He would just like tap it to himself all the time, and I'd be like,
that's the part that makes Dirk great because he at least competed. On both sides of the boards.
He had a European skill. He had a European skill.
Yeah,
and like Kobe has a famous quote where Kobe said his rookie year, they came in about the same time. He came in a year later than Kobe. And Kobe said, when I first saw him, I thought he was going to get he said, and I quote, I thought he was going to get fucked up. And he said, and boy, was I fucking wrong.
Yep.
He said, boy, was I wrong. He said, he turned it. He's like, God damn, that dude was fucking a freak, bro. He's like, he was so good. He was like, he was just good because he was so small. He was 7 foot, like 190 pounds.
He was wiry then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like Durant when he came in, just real skinny.
Yep.
Yeah, skinny. Yeah.
Let's never forget Kevin Durant could not do 135 on the bench press one time.
Nope.
And Dirk makes you respect Luka Jokic even more.
Yeah, that's that European style. The white guys. The white guys who have to be, pretty good.
Yeah.
Because
they got to be pretty skilled.
It's harder to score in the EuroLeague than it is in the NBA. So
they don't play no damn defense. That's why.
Well, you
don't see defense
good in
the
Europe.
playoffs. You don't see
The
defense
athletes
plays
aren't
to playoffs.
near as good in Europe. Like
You
they're
don't-
not. The athletes just aren't as good.
Yeah,
have to rely on
but
that.
you don't see defense played into the playoffs in the NBA or in the EuroLeague. They play it all year round.
Because they play like 28 games.
Yep.
Their shit matters like immediately.
It
It's all like,
matters
oh
over there.
shit, we're in a playoff run right now.
Right now,
We're already in a
same
playoff
game.
run.
We in a playoff run.
We gotta win. We gotta win now.
We gotta win now.
We gotta go to fucking Czechoslovakia. We gotta fucking go to Serbia. Do shit.
We gotta
We
win
gotta
now,
win.
man.
I ain't taking a bus to fucking Serbia to lose. Like, nobody's taking buses to Serbia to fucking lose.
Nope.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts before we wrap up this inaugural Hardwood with Dick and Stacks?
I'm good.
Russell's obviously on his way out, guys. So hamstring injury.
F them picks.
He wants out. So it's
F them picks.
Lakers are down to 81-65 right now.
Look at that.
3:09 left in the third.
They play in Denver, right?
Yep.
And Denver come off a loss? Oh, heck yeah, they're going to get blown out. Hey, F the Lakers, F them picks.
Hey, they're going to be starting 0-4. Russ gone by next week.
And so everybody and skip up and tell my son, well, without Russ, I like the Lakers to have a chance. No.
It's not just about not having Russ. They need actual
who
pieces.
they trade for.
Right.
Exactly. Who they can get back because we're everybody is underestimating how much he is a fucking distraction at this point. Like I wasn't using that excuse last year because I don't think that he was. I think it was just like a gameplay issue. I think it was obviously not the right fit, but now it's an actual distraction. Like they just have given up on it. Like all of them have given up on that ever working. And so they're just seceding the whole thing. So like this is all downtime. Their season doesn't start until they get rid of him. So we can start talking about LeBron's fucking greatness and legacy with the Lakers after they get rid of Russ and how he's playing. I mean, by the way, LeBron at 38 years old, averaging 27, 8 and 7.
Go get Hill and Turner. F them picks.
What about Charlotte though? I'll take Gordon Hayward and Rozier.
I don't want Gordon Hayward.
I don't either.
He's hurt too much. I get it though. He would fit in as a shooter.
Did you guys see that fucking trade that the Lakers turned down in the offseason?
Yes.
Yeah.
Conley, Bogdanovich,
Yep.
and a fucking first round pick for Russ and a couple of picks. And I was like, and Bogdanovich is shooting over 50%.
I've done that deal. I would have done that deal.
They get a first rounder back, 2023 first rounder they got back with Bogdan and Mike Conley and somebody else. It was 3 players, Russ, and then like 3 picks. And they got a first rounder
absolutely taking that deal.
And Conley still got it because if you would have done that, you didn't have to go out and get Pat Bev.
But how much salary of Russ's were they going to have to eat in that deal, though? I guess that's the question.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, now it doesn't matter.
Right. For
on-court, it probably still mattered.
For on-court, positioning, but that's regardless.
F them picks, right. Lakers. Go out and get Hill and Turner.
Next week, I would almost be willing to put money that next week Russell Westbrook is on a different team.
They're going to wait till Thanksgiving. There's no way they're going to wait till Thanksgiving. There's no way.
Home.
You have to.
You got to do it now. Now.
Or send home.
Pressing.
Yep.
And they're not. But they don't. There's no advantage to sending him home.
That's true.
because they need to they need
to recruit that money.
Something.
Yeah. And they need
Something.
talent.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they don't.
I wish the best to Russ too. I like Russ as a guy.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
I
Absolutely.
like him as a dude. I like him
I
as
like him
a
as a
guy.
player. I like his mentality, man. You know, we've talked all
Yeah,
night
me
about killer mentalities.
Yeah.
That's a guy.
Yeah.
I like him as a guy.
He's got that killer
The
mentality.
Energizer Bunny.
But he just
Absolutely.
needs to. He just needs to. And I hate to agree with Charles Barkley, but he needs a new place of scenery.
For sure.
I saw real quick before we wrap up. I did see, depending on where they trade him to, if whoever they get, whether it be Charlotte or Indiana or one of those places, if that team that he goes to buys him out, Miami would be a nice landing spot. So
That's interesting.
look out for that.
For a contender.
I can't see the Tyler Hero getting along though. But maybe that's just me.
But
Maybe that's just
who's
me.
going to be on the first unit? Who's going to be on the second unit?
Because Hero got that dog in him. We talked about it the other
Hero's
night.
got a dog.
Yes.
Hero's got that dog in him.
Yep.
So
If
he
you
ain't doing
have-
something about it that's half-assing it. You know what I'm saying? Which kind of makes me sad because we got Kyle Lowry on that team. But anyway,
Yep.
If
That'd
you
be
have
nice.
Hero on the first unit and Westbrook with the second unit,
Yep.
you'll be fine.
Absolutely.
Just don't put them on the court together.
yeah,
And that's fine. Honestly, you have Russ directing that second unit,
Mhm.
and you have your guys in the second unit teach them about staying warm, since apparently that was a fucking problem. And
Your fault, my
and-
hamstring messed up because you had me on the bench.
which was the biggest bullshit excuse I've ever fucking heard.
Jackass.
That's
Bolstra
almost
and
as
Pat
dumb as-
Riley.
I didn't mean to cheat
Jackass.
on you with her. I slipped and my dick fell inside her. Like it's the same fucking level of stupid.
Yeah.
What's that,
But I
lady?
think the Miami could work if they put
Miami
him in
would
the
be a
second.
good landing spot.
Yeah.
You have Pat Riley and Spolstra as well, which that management group. Obviously, you have Riley. That it's a very established franchise, and so they're not going to let Russ fuck around and do crazy shit.
Right. They're having more under control than Pelinka.
Can I take us out, Seven?
Do you want to?
What do I do? Just hit remove on all?
Yeah. So you're gonna see the one in the videos that says network ad. Run that one and then pull us all back.
Report ad.
No, network ad.
Hang on, guys. We're gonna do this live. We're gonna struggle with this live. Hang on. I don't
Keep
see
learning,
network
give them
ad
a break.
anywhere. I don't see
In the
network ad anywhere.
videos.
Oh, I see it. Yep. I just hit it
Got
and
it.
then
Yep.
close everybody out.
Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never. Even when you feel slow, you can still